Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today, we are back again with another episode of Breaking into InfoSec. And we have Vickie Lee with us, who's been in the industry for a very long time and has been changing careers and interest areas in cybersecurity. I think there are not many people who openly talk about. So, what I'll do is I'll let her introduce herself because she can share more insights, and then we'll just get to know her journey. Over to you, Vicky.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Vickie, and I'm currently the developer evangelist at Shift Left. But I think in my cybersecurity journey in the past, I've held many different roles and different responsibilities. When I was first a college student, I studied computer science, and I thought I wanted to be a developer after I graduate. And then I encountered bug bounties. I did bug bounties for a while, and then I transitioned again to freelance web development. I did a little bit of freelance penetration testing. And then I also did a lot of freelance technical writing in the InfoSec world. And then eventually I landed my position here at Shift Left as a developer evangelist, talking about InfoSec tips and how to fix vulnerabilities in different applications.
Vicky, that's very interesting. Now, I do want to know, how did you get the curiosity in your college that you wanted to or start off with bug bounty hunting? Like, how that idea came to you?
So I got interested in security through my university courses, actually. I
Mhm,
remember during my freshman year in college, I took
mhm,
a class called Introduction to Computer Systems.
mhm,
And just for like a week during that course, it wasn't like a security focused course, but during a week in that course, we were introduced to buffer overflows and how you exploit buffer overflows to like do unintended things in applications. And that was really interesting to me. And that sort of prompted me to look more into the security world. But I think, unfortunately, in my university, there wasn't that many computer science courses that were security focused that I could take. So I think they they maybe have like two or three courses at the time that are security focused. And so I started bug bounties as a way to learn more about cybersecurity, right? And through hacking with bug bounty programs, it really helped me learn a lot more about web hacking and web application security in general. So it has been very helpful both in sort of expanding my interest in cybersecurity as well as actually learning the hands-on part of cybersecurity.
And you mentioned that from bug bounty hunting, you pick up different roles into technical writing, into web development, web app security, and now shift left, you are a devil. So how did transition happen? Because I have seen people, they're not very much comfortable in shifting careers. So,
Mhm.
how that interest came into you that yes, cybersecurity is your place, your area, and you can shuffle between different areas or roles and responsibilities within cybersecurity.
I think my interest in cybersecurity has always been very strong, right? I think InfoSec is a very cool place to be.
Right.
And from when I first started, right, I learned about web application security. And now with Shift Left, I'm learning more about how to make an application secure. Like I'm learning deeper about application security. And I'm also branching out into, reading different infosec books to learn about cloud security, to learn about container security, and all these different aspects. I think they're all really interesting. And when I look back at my career thus far, I think most of these roles are interconnected with each other, right? They are
Right.
like my previous roles all help me with future roles because I have a deeper understanding of the specific niche in cybersecurity. But I think so. I was like more working as a technical person in cybersecurity in the past, right? With the bug bounty hunting, with the development, and with penetration testing. But I think the reason I transitioned into writing more, into like writing my blog, for instance, and my role in DevRel right now, because um, I realized that I'm very much a people person, right? I was sitting in front of my laptop all day and I was starting to lose motivation to learn because I really wanted my work in cybersecurity to connect with other people. And doing bug bounties and penetration testing all day, all alone, was quite lonely. So that's why I started my technical blog, because I wanted to write about whatever I was learning at the moment. And I wanted to try to make my blog posts easy to understand because I hope that people who are studying the same thing at the same time as me would find it helpful. And that really kickstarted this whole new aspect of cybersecurity that I didn't know exist, right? Companies started reaching out to me to ask me to contribute to their training programs. People were starting to invite me onto their podcasts or their video courses. And all of a sudden, you realize that there's so many different things that you can do in cybersecurity that's not just purely technical. There are a lot of different things that should be done in this space. And I'm just slowly find out what suits me the best and what I like. And I think I encourage a lot of people to sort of explore different aspects of infosec because you never know what you might find, and maybe you'll find a role that's just perfect for you and will make you much happier while also working with the same things that you're passionate about, right? The cybersecurity, the application security, the penetration testing.
I totally agree with you. And especially when you are hopping in different careers or different aspects of cybersecurity, you can learn from different people, different aspects. And it is not always about technical skills, but it is soft skills as well, which is needed. So anyone who wants to be part of this area can join at any given point of time. Now,
Yes, that's for
while
sure.
you were shifting your journey, did you come across any website, any podcast, um, any blog that actually helped you navigate your career in these newer fields? Especially if I talk about
Mhm.
DevRel, this was something which was very new for me as well, because I never thought that the DevRel could be a role, and then um, like I will be doing what I am doing outside of my work as like a proper job role. So, did you go through any documentation to any readings in cybersecurity to help your careers?
Uh-huh. So I'm actually like a huge proponent for reading technical books to learn more about different areas of cybersecurity because I think reading books specifically helps you gain very in-depth knowledge about a topic. Do you think it's like a good time for me to share like some cybersecurity books that I think are very helpful? Let
Absolutely,
me
please.
let me go get some books then. Think like a lot of the times cybersecurity books, they're seen as like these very archaic things, right? That because they can't be updated that quickly as blogs, people discount them as not really relevant. But I think a lot of the times books can give you a very fundamental but also at the same time kind of in-depth knowledge about a particular area of expertise in cybersecurity and can be a really good foundation into learning more through blogs, through further podcasts, through online courses, for example. I think so. One of the books that I read when I first got into application security, into this DevRel role that I'm currently in, was Alice and Bob Learn Application Security. Uh, it's a very famous book. I'm sure you've read it as well before. So it's like a really high level overview of how application security works, right? And I think it really helped me in my DevRel role because after reading this book, I could very holistically see application security. So I can think more about what people from different aspects of application security think. And for people who like web application security, for instance, you can read something like Web Application Security. Or I also wrote a book in web application security called Bug Bounty Bootcamp. And that book is aimed at helping beginners learn bug bounties and learn web application hacking. And another book actually that is not very technical in application security, but I still really like. Oh, wait, it's not in application security actually, is The Art of Attack. So this book is very interesting. It's more about like people hacking. It's about social engineering and that kind of thing. And I just remember when I was reading this book, it completely sort of blew my mind as to how different people are in cybersecurity, right? You can work in cybersecurity, but there's so many different things you can work on. And that's really, really interesting for me. Wait,
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
hearing.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
was mute. Books do actually keep you informed, and you get a lot of information. But yes, blogs are one way to see the updated things which are there on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I have
Mm-hmm.
to ask you, like, if there's a student who want to navigate their career right now, they are a UI UX developer, or there is some project that has been given to them in the college, what they should do to move into cybersecurity and get their interest rolled out in this area.
Mm-hmm. So I think one of the things that I found really useful as well. So when I first started learning about cybersecurity, I was blogging at the same time, right? I was blogging about my journey at the same time. And I recently read this article online about learning in public, which refers to exactly this idea. It says that basically, whenever you're learning something new, you should strive to document it publicly. And this helps with certain things, right? This help you first to showcase what you've learned in like a very obvious way so that future employers could see your efforts. And another thing is that by learning in public, you can also help others learn and sort of create your own network out of nowhere, right? Because if you start putting valuable things out online that other people also find helpful, people and opportunities will come to you, right? Because they see the work that you're doing, they see that the value that you're providing to the InfoSec community. And who knows, maybe freelance opportunities will come to you. Maybe some companies will find your work interesting and start reaching you out for internship opportunities. So stuff like this, I think students should mostly focus on learning in public and putting themselves out there more with what they're currently learning. And it doesn't really matter how simple it is, the stuff that you're currently learning. When I first started with cybersecurity, it was just very simple concepts. Like I didn't know how CSRFs work. I didn't know how cross-site scripting work. Um, but I was learning all of these things, right? And I was able to show that I was learning these concepts by myself, and that shows initiative. And I was learning them very well because I was able to explain them through my blog post, right? That demonstrates that I really do have an understanding and mastery over these topics. So I think learning in public, this idea in general, is very, very helpful for students who want to get into cybersecurity. And it doesn't really have to be things like blog posts or writing, extensive writing. I noticed that that's not for everyone. It could be like YouTube channel, it could be some GitHub repository, GitHub projects, anything really that will sort of document your learning process. When you think about it, that sort of so I don't have any InfoSec certifications, but I think these public records of learning acts sort of like certifications where they prove that you have a certain skill and that you know a certain concept very comprehensively.
Very, very interesting. Because I've been thinking about like how exactly people motivate themselves to be part of cybersecurity, or when we talk about
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity, it is one place which is called if you can do good networking, then you can thrive well in the cyberspace, where you need to get to know people, you need to learn new aspects, because this is one area where people feel that anything that we learn we should share, but not everyone does it. I think there's still a lot of
Mhm.
room or space to share that, and it is not because they don't want to, it is because they don't understand like how to share, whether it's via blog, whether it's via videos, it's how should they do it, so that people get
Mhm.
to learn from that. So that's very, very interesting. So one tip, if you have to give it to somebody who's joining the space, what would that be?
I think one tip that I would also find helpful when I was a student is that don't start doing things in cybersecurity until you feel like you're ready, right? Don't start hunting and bug bounties when you finish an entire web application security course. Don't start writing tools until after you graduated your computer science degree, right? And the important thing is that you start trying and then slowly start improving your products and your process before you feel like you're ready. Because I feel like if you want to start after a certain milestone, um, you just never do, right? I think start as soon as possible. Your results or your blog posts or your tools might not be perfect, but they're part of your learning process. And I think in that way, it's very, very helpful. And even though in the future you might feel like my work back when I was a student or my work when I first started was not as good as I wanted to, you're able to see your own improvement over time, right? And I think that is very, very valuable to motivate yourself to keep going as well.
I totally agree with you. And in the end, any specific podcast that you want people to listen to so that they can grow themselves in cybersecurity?
So I actually don't know that many podcasts in cybersecurity, but you should definitely tune into my podcast. It's called Sources and Sinks, and we interview many, many different people in cybersecurity, right? We've interviewed people with really, really interesting careers. Like we've interviewed cybersecurity YouTubers, cybersecurity YouTuber Live Overflow in the past. We've interviewed ethical hacker Naham Sek in the past, and we've interviewed cybersecurity social responsibility researcher Chloe Mastagi just last week. We talked to them about their experiences in cybersecurity, how they grew their careers, and how they sort of found their unique niche in cybersecurity that really allowed their career to thrive. So please tune into Sources and Sync and to listen to all the amazing people that comes on our
Perfect.
podcast.
That's totally amazing. Thank you so much, Lee, for sharing the wonderful details and joining me today. It was wonderful to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.